So very good evening to all of you. Today the topic of discussion is biodiversity and conservation. So before we proceed to know what is biodiversity and why we need to conserve them, we need to know the definition of biodiversity. So biodiversity is composed of two words. First word is bios, which all of you know because it's root word of biology also. So bios means life and diversity means different types of form. So what do we mean by biodiversity? These are vast array of organism in a place. So if I am talking about species diversity, that means consider now I am talking about the area of Ahmedabad. The number of species located in Ahmedabad is known as the biodiversity of the Ahmedabad. Or if you want to make it into a small area, or you don't want to talk about species, you want to talk about genetic diversity, then as for that the diversity is described. Okay, now there are different levels of biodiversity that we are going to study in this chapter. Apart from that, we will talk about number of species on Earth. So this data can never be accurate because every passing day we are discovering new organisms somewhere down the line. So we can only predict the data. Second thing is we will talk about patterns of biodiversity. That means where in Earth there is more biodiversity, what is the reason that there is more biodiversity, and some regions are there on Earth where diversity is very low. So, loss of biodiversity is another concern because biodiversity is very much important for us. So you may ask me, how does it matter, ma'am? If in Ahmedabad, me and my parents are there, my friends are there, my teachers are there, and a few other important people are there, I'm happy. Why should I have mosquitoes in Ahmedabad? What will happen if mosquitoes are removed from Ahmedabad? Does it affect me somewhere? I taught you the chapter organisms and populations. You can refer to those recordings and you will be able to know that ecosystem is a very intricate network of organisms. जैसे जरदोसी साड़ी में काम किया हुआ होता है, कहीं से एक धागा टूट गया तो पूरी सिलाई आगे की निकल जाती है. Ecosystem is having similar kind of structure. So even if one organism which found to be indistinct, that organism is not at all important, you feel. Even if it is there, its removal or even if addition of a small organism can cause problem. So definitely loss of biodiversity is a concern. So we will look upon the different reasons of loss of biodiversity, and finally the main motive of learning this chapter is to make ourselves appropriate decisions makers to conserve the biodiversity conservation. Okay, so let us look into the level of biodiversity. It is the diversity of biological organisms. It range from cellular to the macromolecules to the biowave. So Edward Wilson, this person's holding an ant, you can see how big it is, was the person who responsible for making this world popular, and that is biodiversity. So now levels of biodiversity can be of various. It can be genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecological diversity. So what are these? If I'm talking about a specific species, for example, here they are talking about Rauwolfia vomitoria. Okay. So Rauwolfia vomitoria is a plant which is in normal language known as Sarpagandha. आजकल Ayurvedic products again they are gaining popularities, and Rauwolfia serpentina or Rauwolfia vomitoria, which is known as Sarpagandha, is a very potent medicinal plant. It is known for a specific secondary metabolite or chemical called reserpine. This Rauwolfia serpentina or which produce reserpine can help in the control of the blood pressure. Okay, so that's why it is very much important. So in Himalayan region, there are genetical level biodiversity present. So that means all of them will have same genus, same species, but there will be various variety of Rauwolfia vomitoria. Such kind of diversity is known as genetic diversity. For example, all of us are Homo sapiens, but if we are having group of remarkable diversity, we can call it as genetic diversity. Okay, so you can see that India has 50,000 different strains of rice and 1,000 varieties of mango. So rice scientific name is Oryza sativa. So all these rices varieties are having same scientific name, same genus, same species, but they are different in their genetic makeup. Now, many a time students ask one question. Okay, ma'am, if I consider about human being, I am different from you. So Dish is having different sequence of DNA. I am having different sequence of DNA. Abhi is having different sequence of DNA. So can we consider this as a genetic diversity? What do you think, guys? क्या इसे हम genetic diversity बोल सकते हैं? Can we call
yes
it?
ma'am, बोल सकते हैं.
No, beta. We are not different varieties. You need to understand. When I am talking about 1,000 varieties of mango, I am not talking about individual organisms. We know that every organism reproduce sexually will have different genetic diversity. But here we are talking about genetic diversity means we are talking about varieties. In plant, we use the word varieties. In case of microbes, we use the word strain. In case of animal, we use the word breed. Understood? जैसे आपने पढ़ा होगा कि न्यूमोकॉकस या स्टेफाइलोकोकस न्यूमोनी में डिप्लोकोकस न्यूमोनी में एक वैरायटी होती है स्मूथ एंड रफ. So this is genetic diversity. But if there are 10 smooth bacteria and 10 of them are having different DNA sequence, I cannot call them as genetic diversity. I guess the concept of genetic diversity is clear. Dish?
Yes ma'am.
So they need to be having a group of organisms with similar characteristics. But this group is smaller than the species. You can call them as a subspecies, or I told you in case of plant we use the word variety, in animal we use the word breed. In improvement of food resources chapter, we talked about different breeds of cow, isn't it? Jersey. We talked about different breeds of plants and animals. So all these breeds are coming under genetic diversity. Okay. Now is species diversity. Here the diversity is broader. Okay. So in their case, the genus is same, but species are different. For example, here example of amphibian species in Western Ghats. You can see all of them are basically frogs. Okay, but if you look into them separately, all of them are having, may have same or different genus, but their species will be different from each other. Okay. Like two mountain ranges are like surrounding India from the south side and two from the northern side. So this here the mountain range is called Western Ghat and here it is called Eastern Ghat. So Western Ghat is having greater amphibian species diversity. That means it has more number of species of amphibian located. Whereas in Eastern Ghat, it is comparatively less. Okay. So next is ecological diversity. Here the diversity will be at ecosystem level. That means depending on the surrounding condition, like is it an desert, then what are the specific types of plants and animals found in desert? If it is a rainforest, for example, Meghalaya, Assam, they have rainforest, specialized animals which are adaptable to that specific condition. We have mangroves in southern part of Odisha and West Bengal. We have this specialized plant. We call it Sundarban. So these mangrove forests are there. We have coral reef present in our country at the seashore. Uh, we have wetlands. So what do we mean by wetlands? These are the area which are having water logging condition. We have estuaries where sea is invading into the land, and there are alpine meadows. So alpine region are the region where valley is there. They are not too cold but not too hot also. So you can see such huge biodiversity India has, and that's why ecological diversity is quite high in India. Okay, so is this part clear to all of you? Take time and let me know. So as you confirm, the concept of genetic level and species level and ecosystem level diversity is clear to you. We will now talk about other levels of diversity. That is also very important for you to know. That is called alpha diversity. So before we go for uh, like understanding the concept, we can say that alpha diversity is within the community diversity. So what do we mean by community? Class, can you tell me the meaning of the word?
Community means where all the
I cannot
सब
hear
लोग
you.
एकत्र.
Please, can you repeat your answer once again? We cannot hear you, Dish.
Ma'am, hello.
Yes, bolo.
Ma'am, it is a group of people where live in the same place or nearby.
No, no. I asked for the definition. If you can remember, I taught you about hierarchy of life from atoms to then biomolecules, then cell to tissue to organ to organ system, then organism. Then there will be population. So population is group of organisms of same species. For example, human population will have all Homo sapiens. Mango plant population will have Mangifera indica. Okay. Now, if we are having more than one population present in an area, we call it community. Okay. So in ecosystem, we will find community. Only single population will not be there. There will be more than one population. So that is what is the meaning of community. I request both of you to note down this definition, that community means group of population. So alpha diversity, which is also known as within the community diversity, describes the number of species in a given community. Or as community will include many types of organisms, so we can call it is number of species in a given habitat. Okay. Now, how alpha diversity is represented? Alpha diversity is represented by two things. One is known as species diversity and species evenness. So these are two parameters, or we can call two indices that is used in combination to represent alpha diversity. Okay. So how it is like talked about, that consider that there I am talking about alpha diversity. We will talk about species diversity and species evenness. So you are already aware of the terminology called species diversity. So we will know about the word species evenness. What do we mean by species evenness? The meaning of the word species evenness means the relative abundance in which each species is represented in an area. Okay, so the definition of the word species evenness is the relative abundance with which each species is represented okay. So I just wish to share with you three examples with which we can understand the concept of species richness and species evenness and other things. So have you noted down these points, class? So while describing species diversity, I am too many times used the word species richness. So species diversity is comparatively easy to understand. Consider in a jungle, I have tiger, then I have fox, because tiger and lion is not present generally in an area. I have deer. Okay, I have parrot, then monkey. Okay, so when I am talking about the community diversity, you can talk about a jungle. But if I am talking about species diversity, in that case, I will talk about a specific group of animals belong to the same species. For example, big cat family. Do you know what are big cat families? We will talk about tiger and lion. Do you know the scientific, by any chance, the scientific name of tiger and lion?
Tigris, tiger.
Panthera tigris, I wanted the full name, and tiger lion is known as Panthera leo, whereas snow leopard is known as Panthera vulpecula. So you can understand, but that all of them are having same genus, but their species are different. So that will be coming under species diversity. Understood? तो अगर मैं एक जंगल में मंकी, लायन, डियर, फॉक्स, इन सब की डाइवर्सिटी को देखूं, एंड इफ आई ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट दैट हाउ मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर प्रेजेंट, that will be coming under whom? Community diversity. Understood? But when I am talking about organisms of same genus, but their species are different. For example, in this all these big cat family, everyone is having common genus called Panthera. Okay, so this is called species diversity. Understood the part, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we will talk about a thing that is called species richness. What is about rich? The meaning of species richness is number of species per unit area. So obviously, as the area will increase, the number of species will increase. So does species diversity can be measured appropriately by using what? By the terminology called species richness. But is richness means evenness? So once again, I am writing the definition of species evenness, and then maybe I can explain it with a diagram. So So when I'm talking about species evenness, it is the relative abundance. What do we mean by the word abundance? Have you ever heard about the word abundance?
Ma'am, scientific term or as
Any side?
very large quantity.
Okay. So now let us take example of different types of birds. So I just wish to represent a type of bird over here. I am not drawing diagram, just using symbols so that it will be easy for you to understand. Consider this symbol as a bird. It is bird species 1. Okay. So in this bird species 1, in the first area, there are 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the species 1 is present. Where in the area 1. Okay. Now, apart from that, there are other bird species. I will represent them as bird species 2. It is present single in number. So this is bird species 2. And finally, the bird species 3 are also there. So in area 1, this is the situation. Okay. So in area 2, let us see what about the number. In area 2, this bird species 1 is present in 2 number, whereas in area 3, bird species 1 is not there. Okay. So in area 2, the bird species 2 is 2 in number, and bird species 3 is also 2 in number. Okay. So this is the scenario in area 2. So now I wish to talk about here that consider this area. This area is species rich. How many types of species present over here, beta? In area 1, Dish, Abhi?
And total
3
6.
types. है ना? 3 types of species are there. 1 type,
3 types.
2 type, and 3 type. This area also has 3 types of species, but this area is more species even. Why even? Why evenness is more?
Equal quantity.
Yes. So 3 of the species are distributed in condition. Now, let us understand other than these bird species, there in third area, they have some insects. So they have some insects. They have some human. Okay. Apart from that, they have some bird species. So now I am going to consider these as this diversity. Can you call it species diversity anymore? Can we call this?
No, ma'am.
It is now community diversity. Okay. So I hope with this example, it will be very easy for you to understand this concept. Is it clear, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. If you wish, you can take a screenshot so that you can refer it later, or we can move ahead.
Done, ma'am.
So we will get back to the concept. We discussed what is alpha diversity, and generally when we are talking about alpha diversity, you need to understand that alpha diversity is talking about what? It is talking about community diversity. So when I'm talking about area where a lot more different types of species are there, it is bound to be uneven. So species evenness hoga, that will be missing in case of alpha diversity. If we cannot say even, it's missing, we can say it is very less. Now, here there are like 5 factors which are generally decide that how the species richness should be. Should that area be full of different types of species or not? That is decided by 5 major factors decide number of species in a community. So what are these 5 major factors? First is the historical factor. So what is this historical? Science में कहाँ से history आ रही है? So that means it will include the time that was available Consider there is a area where no organism is there. More the time spent with that area, more time the organisms get for colonization, more will be the diversity. You know, because evolution is a slow and gradual process. So more time is spent by a community in an ecosystem, more will be the diversity. Okay. What are the other factors? The second very important factor is number of potential colonizers. Consider in a desert, there is an area where no organism prefer to stay. Suddenly, a few organisms into some kind of, what I can say, compelling reason, tried and made themselves comfortable in those regions. So at the beginning of the process, if I have more number of potential colonizers, more will be the diversity of the area. Some birds tried to stay there, some snakes tried to stay there, and some desert plants tried to stay there. So three reference point or initial point is there. So that means diversity will be more. But if it is only snake and plant, then obviously the number of diversity will be less. Okay. Third very important factor is the distance of community from source colonizers. What are these? You know that whenever there is a scarcity or something like that, uh, some organisms leave that area and try to make themselves settle into a new area. So, if the distance of the area where colonizers need to establish themselves is too remote, it is too far away from the existing community, then chances of colonizers to reach there and make themselves settle will be less. So the distance of the main community from the colonizer, from the area where source colonizers will be there, so decides the diversity. Next factor is size of biotype. So what is this? What do we mean by the word biotype? So biotype are initial colonizers who are going to settle in a place and they want to establish themselves as a new species in an area. So that will enrich definitely the community ecosystem, or sorry, community diversity. Now, if the biotype which wish to communicate and go there and establish itself, that's biotype. If size here doesn't mean the size के वो कितना लंबा होगा, कितना छोटा होगा. It means the potential colonizers who want to establish them as new species. What are their number? What are the size of that biotype or size of that potential organisms, group of organisms which can establish themselves as a new species? If it is too small, then it can be easily succumbed by some factor and it may be there that it cannot develop itself as a new species. But if there are some organisms and there will be chances of establishing themselves as a new species. Last, factor is interaction between species which will cause survival of some species and extinction of others. So this competition is the driving force which will help them to develop into a new species. Okay, so have a close look into these factors and try and remember the examples I quoted so that if you have any doubt, we can discuss now. We talked till now about alpha biodiversity, which is measured by species diversity and species evenness, and it is basically known as community diversity. Now we will talk about the beta diversity. So many times students wonder that alpha, beta, and gamma is only present in mathematics, but it's not true. We have alpha chain and beta chain of hemoglobin, uh, beta cells of islets of Langerhans, of pancreas, and now this beta diversity. So beta diversity can be, in short, defined as in between community diversity. So what is this? Consider in a situation two communities are there. Okay. So in a given geographical location, okay, it appears in range of communities, that means community number 1, community number 2. So this way range of communities due to replacement of species in a gradient. So consider here what is the meaning of gradient. So if I am talking about Earth, you must be knowing that Earth can be divided into different gradient. The upper part is too cold. Are you aware of this part? ऊपर के हिस्से को cold बोलते हैं. They are ice cold, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Middle part is red hot. So it is known as the equatorial zone. And there are zones which are somehow like less hot but not that cold. Okay, so these are gradient of Earth. So now in beta diversity, we actually see the diversity in communities present in a gradient. Consider if I am talking about diversity of this specific region. Okay. So in this case, there will be a difference in community present here and difference in community present here. Because in hot region, the species that will exist will adapt themselves in hot condition, whereas slightly colder condition different. Some organisms will be common. Here, the meaning of the word due to replacement of species means consider here I have 5 species A, B, C, D, E. Here A, B, C will be there, but X and Y will be here. So that means this D and E species is replaced by X and Y species over here, beta. Understood? So when I am
Yes.
comparing about the difference in community of this specific geographical location across a gradient, we call that type of diversity as beta diversity. Take your time to understand. If you have any doubt, ask me. So here we are comparing what? We are here comparing two communities. In alpha diversity, what we did? We compared the species present in a community, in one community. Understood, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
And in beta diversity, what we are doing? We are comparing the two communities of a geographical location. Clear? Sure. So this is about beta diversity. Then what do we mean by the word gamma diversity? Let us get back to the understanding of gamma diversity. Gamma written like this. So gamma diversity. The meaning of gamma diversity is not about organism. It is diversity of habitat of a geographical location. So what do we mean by this? So if I am talking about gamma diversity, that means here I am not interested about how many types of organisms are there. I am understanding that okay, in geographical location of Gujarat, how many types of habitats are possible? Can you tell me how many types of habitats are possible in Gujarat? Can you guess? Seashore is present in Gujarat, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
There are mildly hilly region. Okay, so you should see in like I remember that's why quoting here. There is one park in Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar called Indrona Park. You know, so there total soil distribution and habitat types of Gujarat are discussed, and it was presented well with a pictorial exhibition and models. So you will be able to know that how many habitats, because ultimately gamma diversity will will have effect on alpha and beta diversity. So I guess that in your textbook this part is absent, beta, but this is a very important part that is asked many a times in entrance examination, and that's why I discussed with you this specific part. So can we move ahead with your permission?
Yes,
Class?
ma'am.
So just give me 1 second so that I can. So today we learned about different types of diversity. In our next lecture, we will talk about the species, total number of species of Earth, which is quite high in number. And we will complete this chapter by discussion with the biodiversity conservation remedies we can think about, and we will definitely learn about how loss of biodiversity can be devastating for us. So that's all from my side today. Any question from your side, Dish?
No, ma'am. अगर
Very
पढ़ लेंगे बाद में.
A very simple chapter. That's why I'm teaching it with such elaborate manner so that you don't have to devote much time from your side to remember it. This chapter is a very easy, happy-go-lucky scoring chapter. So I want you people to understand the concept so that you don't have to revise it every now and then. Okay. So we will be meeting in our next class and we will be finishing this chapter.
Okay, ma'am.
Now it's a bye from my side today. We will continue in the next lecture.